Hey, so in this video I've got you a bunch of clips of our fall here with little volunteer pumpkins that we had, and clips of the chicken tractor that I built, and all the broilers that we raised. So enjoy these clips, and then at the end of the video I'll talk about the chicken tractors that I built this year. Chewy. Getting big. He's got huge. He's down. Go for it. Let me shut it.
Be careful. What are you doing? What are we doing? What are we doing with the chickens?
And there was one, two.
What do you think, Cora? No. Saw a lot of chickens?
Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that. And so now let's talk about the chicken tractor. So this is kind of the Salton design. I modified it for what I had and what I thought would be better for me. So I had a bunch of 1-inch tubing that was 18 gauge. And this stuff's super thin, very lightweight. It's what I had. I didn't want to use lumber. So it's 6 feet wide by 10 feet long. And I got a 6-foot door on this one. The one I have at school I did with a 4-foot door. This is the first one I built. A 6-foot door is definitely better. An even bigger door would be better than that because you run into the issue of trying to catch the chicks. or catch the broilers and try to get them out of there. I just have a prop there to hold the door up to feed. Preferably, you'd probably want at least, I don't know, over half of the chicken tractor as a door, because it just makes life a lot easier getting them out. I did have a piece of 1/2-inch plywood that was 6 feet wide to go across to sweep those birds out. Now I used a Pasture drinker, worked great. I used a piece of 4-inch sewer pipe, that thin wall stuff. Took a bandsaw and cut that in half and put caps on each side. That worked great. I didn't have any sheet metal to make the long feeders, and I'll close this door here. And I had the pipe that was left over from a job, so I thought I'd use that, and it worked great. Now I would say at times I thought it wasn't holding enough feed, so I could put 2 in there if I wanted to. So I had a 5-gallon bucket up here for the Pasture drinker. Now, one thing I'll change next year is I'm going to cut a piece of plywood to fit this, just to make a lid. I don't really care about having a snap lid because I don't want to snap it on and off, but we did get a bunch of wasp and other bugs down in here, and that stopped up our tubing, our little black tubing for the Pasture drinker, and that caused some issues. So next year I'm going to put a lid on it. Now, over half of this chicken tractor is covered with just galvanized strong barn metal. I painted it yellow because I had the yellow paint, and I thought if I was going to take one to school, which I took one here, left one here and took one to school for the students, I thought, nah, I'll paint it yellow. I had the paint, so I didn't do a great paint job because the paint was going bad, but oh well. And I thought the yellow paint would make it not as hot in there, and I don't know if it made a difference or not. Now the big difference I made, so this was all chicken wired, but I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a piece of shade cloth, a shade cloth tarp, and I used it, and it works great. I cut it in half and used one for this one and one for school, and that really held. We had some really hot days, and the broilers would hide back up underneath the metal, and there just wasn't enough wind. There wasn't enough draft back there circulating fresh air, so I thought, you know, they need some shade cloth, and that worked great. I would highly recommend doing that. I would even do less metal next time and more shade cloth. We raised them from Labor Day to, I guess, about the 20th of October, and that seemed to work all right here in Arkansas. For feed, what we did is I got just a big galvanized trash can. I like how tight the lid is, that way varmints don't get in that. And I have a smaller bucket in here just for this last batch, but I was just dumping full bags of feed in there. We used the Do More, which is made by Purina Kickstarter, and that worked great. I did feed them some other things along the way to try to boost up their performance and also save some money on feed, and that worked. But just as a general rule, that Do More Kickstarter worked great. And I did build a spreadsheet of how much to feed them per week to try to manipulate their growth, and it seemed to work this time. So that's the chicken tractor. We've had a good harvest. I got some videos I'm gonna put together for y'all from our soybean harvest and corn harvest. Corn did not do very good, but soybeans did very well. We've had some fall gardens. My wife's fall garden. We got a few plants there. We've got turnips growing, and we've got all the chickens processed. We had 43 make it to the processing stage. We had a couple that got hung in the chicken tractor we were moving it. Oh, I need to show you the dolly. So I don't know, I moved them every morning like they recommend, and before I fed them, and some of them would walk up to the front and walk with me, and I'd move them slow, but I did have 2 over the season get caught underneath the dolly, and then I had to process those. So this was the dolly, once again a Salton design. I modified it because I had 1/2-inch rod and I didn't have 1/2-inch pipe, so I wasn't going to spend any more money than I had to. Now, one mistake I did is I bent this handle that direction, and it should have been bent this direction. I thought that would raise it up higher off the ground, and that's what I wanted since this was flexible. But the issue you run into is you get a lot of poo back here on the handle because it drags the ground. Before next season, I'm going to cut it right here like I did before, bend it back this way, and I'm going to add a piece of 1/2-inch rod from here down to the angle. That's going to strengthen this up. It's pretty flexible, and I don't think I was getting enough ground clearance sometimes. And other than that, it all worked pretty good. So if you're a local person, you do watch my videos, yes, we do have chicken for sale. We got whole chickens for sale that are pasture raised, you know, just like you see in the tractor. premium poultry. And we also have whole chickens. We have whole chickens, and we also have them parted out in the breast and leg quarters and wings and gizzards and hearts and feet and all that kind of stuff if you're interested. I'm not going to put my contact information here on YouTube, but if you're a local person, you do know me, or you can get a hold of me on Facebook, contact me. We'd gladly sell you some chicken. So with that, keep making every toe push, and I appreciate you watching the video.